right. I was just about to watch Black Box Diaries because I hadn't seen it yet, and it just so happened to be on Amazon Prime. But I was really looking forward to doing an Oscar discussion if you have some time.
Yeah, I got a little bit.
All right. Yeah, because I also got I made little envelopes and stuff for oh, thanks for the heart. I made little envelopes and stuff like that for like the nominees. And I
Nice.
wasn't sure if you wanted to like talk about which ones you think, if you were like in a member of the Academy, who would you vote for to win in like each category? So I'll list off like a category. Oh, thank you, Ren. I greatly appreciate it. And who would you think would win? So, for example, best visual effects. Uh, we had Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part Two, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. So out of those options, who would you think would you want to win best visual effects, and why, if you want?
I would want Dune 2 to win.
Oh, yeah, why?
Like, that blew me away.
Yeah, that's fair. Uh, that's actually what I voted for as well. Was Dune 2. Um,
I don't think they'll give it to Dune 2.
are you already done with it? Still working on various projects right now, Ren. So doing some stuff here and there. But yeah, you really liked Dune 2. I really liked Dune 2. I thought Dune 2 was really great and visual.
That is it's my number two for the year.
hmm Alien Romulus was be all right for the most part. I think uh, the alien acid blood scene would be the thing that I was like, that's not really the best. Better
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate on like a technical level what they were trying to do.
Hmm.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was all right, and Wicked was fine. I mean, granted, I wasn't thinking too much about the visual effects, which I guess is a point in its favor because you're not supposed to. You're supposed to believe it's magic happening in the film. So overall, the nominees were great for that category.
Yeah, I actually still haven't seen Wicked or Better Man.
Better Man was good. Not great, but it was good. Uh, then we have Best Sound, which is a complete unknown, Dune Part Two, Amelia Perez, Wicked, The Wild Robot. So out of those options, which one do you think is? I mean, which one do you think is going to be your choice in that category? I know you haven't seen Wicked. Probably haven't seen
I,
Amelia Perez, right?
I've seen Emilio Perez, yeah.
What are your thoughts on Amelia Perez?
I think it's overhyped, way overhyped by like critics and stuff, not by people. A lot of
Yeah,
people seem to be lukewarm to not like it. Um,
yeah.
but
The more I
I,
learn about it, the more I hate it. For sure. The more I learn like, about the production and everything about it, the more I hate it. I don't even know why it's nominated for best sound.
I don't either. They just love musicals.
I guess so. But
Academy loves the musical.
so which one would you say would be best sound? Do you think it's another Dune Part Two?
I my honest pick would be Nosferatu, which wasn't nominated, but Dune 2 out of what is nominated.
You know what? You're actually that's actually true. I think Nosferatu should have been nominated, especially with the when Count Orlok is drinking the blood and like the gulping slurping noises. That was just that added so much to that film and was just disgusting and visceral. I, based on the nominees, did choose Dune Part Two as well because it added to the world that we were in that place. Wild Robot was fine. A Complete Unknown, I have no idea why that was nominated. And Wicked was fine. I'd be all right with those ones winning. We
I think it'll be
have best
Wicked or Amelia Perez, though. I think that they'll give it to one of the two musicals.
probably. Uh, Best makeup and hairstyle. Uh, the nominees for this were. Where are you? I know you're on here. A Different Man, Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked.
I think the substance should win for the Demi Moore's de-evolution
I agree.
alone. Like,
I agree, and that's also what I picked as well.
I
So
feel like they'll
far,
give
we
it to
seem to be like
Wicked or something.
on par with each other. Best production design. We have The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part Two, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
I actually haven't seen Conclave or The Brutalist.
I happened to see them both. I thought that that Conclaves was fine. Brutalist, it makes sense for it to be nominated because brutalism is an actual architectural art form. So I'd be all right with that one winning. But for this one, I actually chose Wicked because I thought that there was a lot that went into the sets and the little props and everything here and there added so much to the film. I thought it was definitely one of the highlights of Wicked for sure. Let's see here. Best
Conclave is
costume
my,
design. What's that?
my not seeing Conclave is my fault because it's been on Peacock forever. But my theater here actually hasn't gotten The Brutalist, so there's nowhere for me to watch that yet.
Yeah, I was very fortunate that I'm close to a big city that has a small theater that was playing it. But it was good. It was the first movie I saw in a while that had an intermission in it.
Yeah, I heard
A
it. It's
legit
like
15-minute intermission, which was really
I'm
cool.
looking forward to watching it. I'll rent it as soon as it's available. But
Yeah, definitely should. Uh, Best costume design. We have A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
I would. I'm gonna guess they're gonna give it to Wicked, but I would give it to Nosferatu.
Oh yeah, Nosferatu was all right. I actually voted for Wicked myself. I don't know. I think the costumes were important in Wicked. At least my perspective, they were important to Wicked because even like the scene when Glinda, they're like, "Ew, what's this?" And they talk about the hat that they ultimately give to Glinda. Everything in that film just flowed and worked well with the costumes. I don't understand why A Complete Unknown is nominated. It was fine, but I don't know why it was nominated.
They always pick one musical biopic a year to just shower with nominations.
That's true. That is really true. It's a very easy Oscar bait. Okay. Best editing. We have Honora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. Who would you nominate?
I made a joke that any movie that is over 3 hours long shouldn't get a Best Editing award, but it's just a joke. I don't agree with that. Um,
Okay.
I honestly think they'll probably give it to The Brutalist, even though I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
My pick, though, man, that might be one that I would actually give to Amelia Perez. I think their editor was on point.
I only think that the one scene they're editing was good. The one that they keep heavily promoting El Mal, which is just like unlike the rest of the freaking movie because it's so boring and low energy. But like that's the only scene where the editing I feel like was at all tight. But I would nominate Wicked myself because it was a longer movie and that there was a lot of things that flowed really well. I didn't even really think about the time that I was there because it's almost 3 hours long and like it flows rather well. Brutalist definitely felt its weight, and they probably will give it to the Brutalist because it definitely had more editing involved with it,
Mhm.
but because most people say that it's about the amount of editing that people do in a film. But I would vote for Wicked myself. Best cinematography. We have The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. Now, I have not seen Maria. That's like the only one I have not seen, but what do you think?
It is so hard for cinematography to pick between Dune 2 and Nosferatu. Like, both of their cinematography is ridiculous. My honest pick, I think, would be Dune 2.
Yeah, Dune 2 was a really good one. I'd be really happy if they won. I went with The Brutalist just because, especially like that opening scene uh, with Adrian Brody. I don't think it was an opening scene, but it was like one of the very first scenes of the movie where like he's on the ship and he wakes up and he walks out throughout from underneath the bottom of the ship to top side. Like even that was just monumental, and I think cinematography almost felt like another character in the film itself. But
I
we'll
do think
see.
they'll give it to the Brutalist. I think they're going to give the Brutalist Best Picture. Spoilers, I know we're not there yet,
Mhm.
but I think they're going to give it a few awards leading up to it to justify the Best Picture win. And I think editing might be one, cinematography probably will be one.
I definitely agree, and that's why we're talking about. That's why I wanted to talk about what you would vote. Like, imagine you were like a member of the Academy, and like you were
Yeah,
like, voting for them. I think that's definitely because no one really talks about that anymore. Like Siskel and Ebert used to do that, but not no one really talks about like if you were actually in the Academy, who would you like vote for as
I
well?
definitely would
And
go with Dune 2, but I would not be mad if Nosferatu won.
oh yeah, no, me neither. Especially since like and here's the thing: I'm not a fan of the original Nosferatu from like the 1922. I appreciate it. I admire it for what its influence has been,
Mhm.
but I also think that it's not it was a product of its time as well. But what this Nosferatu did was it did capture a lot of the feel of the original Nosferatu while still having a much better version of the Dracula story than the original Nosferatu did. I thought so, at least.
Like
Yeah,
German Expressionism is one of my favorite periods of film.
I
So
agree.
I love that original one, just the shadow and lighting work and all the matte paintings and sets and everything.
Hmm.
I just love what they were doing at the time.
Yeah, I agree. And I like Canada Caligari a little bit more. Pearl.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but still. All right. Best musical score. We have The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Uh, I really did not like Amelia Perez myself.
Yeah.
Wicked, I don't know why that's nominated. Because they didn't really add music to that, as it was sounded like the exact same musical score that was already there. But what do you think?
I would, out of those, the Wild Robot for sure.
You think Wild Robot? That's a good one. The score for that one was fine. I thought so
Um,
as well.
I I really feel like a few people were snubbed though, like uh, Hans Zimmer. Why isn't he in there?
What did he do this year?
Dune.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe because like the score was very reminiscent of the previous film as
Yeah,
well. Maybe.
that
I
might
mean,
be it.
I'm not sure. But I completely forgot he did Dune. I went with Conclave because again, it felt like a character in the like if it was very similar to the soundtrack to All Quiet on the Western Front, where it was ominous but and foreboding, but also like you just felt that emotion that all the other characters were. It was like it was saying the emotions without words, in my opinion, and I
Hmm.
thought it was very moving. I would not be mad if the Brutalist won. I would not be mad if Wild Robot won, but every the other two, I would probably be like not so much.
I think the substance should be on there too. That that's so
Yeah,
iconic.
Substance should be on there. You're right. I agree. I think the Substance should be because their score was not bad. I think they can replace Amelia Perez or Wicked with the Substance. And then best original song. The one I wanted was not nominated. It's called "Sick in the Head" by Kneecap, which
Oh,
was on the
okay.
short list but never got anywhere. It's a really great song um, about the struggles that these artists are going through, and it also uses actual Gaelic in the lyrics to emphasize that. But to emphasize its point about native languages.
Hmm.
But the nominees we did get were El Mal for Amelia Perez, The Journey from The Six Triple Eight, Like a Bird from Sing Sing, Me Camino from Amelia Perez, and Never Too Late from Elton John. Never Too Late. So what would you think?
Um, I don't know which Amelia Perez song it is, but I'm
Yeah,
guessing one of those is like the really upbeat Zoe Saldana is a lot. I
that was
thought that
the
song
El
was a
Mal.
banger. It like
That was El Mal,
okay,
and
yeah, that one.
I don't know. It was. I found it more annoying than anything else. I think it's going to win,
That's fair.
but
I definitely think the movie that has two songs nominated, one of those is probably going to win.
oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. But I would also argue that, but I'm also not a huge fan of whisper singing, which is unfortunately what the majority of the music was in Amelia Perez. And like even like that scene was like, and it was just annoying, or I thought it was annoying myself. And
yeah, I kind
I
of
went,
did. It.
and the one that I chose was The Journey, uh, the 6888. I thought that one was a the best song out of those nominees that I heard when listening to them. It's probably not gonna get it. You're probably right. It's probably gonna go to like El Mal, but I personally preferred um, the 6888 instead. Uh, best animated feature. Uh, we have. I know it's on here somewhere. Here it is. Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot.
I would give it to the Wild Robot for sure, but I wouldn't be mad if Memoir of a Snail won.
Mm. Yeah. Did you see Flow or Memoir of a Snail?
I've seen Memoir of a Snail. I haven't seen Flow yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because Memoir of a Snail is what I would give it to. It was my favorite film of last year. It was very. I really like Adam Elliott's work, and
I do
it's
too.
very dark and adult, and just it's just like I really felt for the main character so much. So I would not be upset if Flow won. I would not be upset if Wild Robot won. Uh,
I
what was the
watched
other?
Memoir of a Snail, and it was sad and everything. But I watched Wild Robot, and like I actually cried a little bit. So I got to go with the one that got the more emotion from me.
That's fair. And the Memoir of a Snail got more emotion for me as well. So I that's why I'm also basing it on as well. But I liked Wild Robot. Wild Robot was good.
Yeah,
Best
they're both
international
great.
feature. Sorry.
They're both great. Memoir of a Snail and Wild Robot.
Mm-hmm.
Love them both. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen a single one of these.
The best international feature.
Yeah, not a one.
uh, Yeah, I'm Still Here, which I saw yesterday. The Girl with the Needle hasn't been released in the U.S. yet,
I think
so it'd
I
be
just
real.
saw an ad. It's on Mubi.
It is.
Yeah,
I'd
they just added it to Mubi.
I'd have to check that out. Amelia Perez, The Seed of a
Oh, I
Sacred
have seen
Fig. I really need to see. I really wanted to see, and then Flow. So I didn't see all of these. I really want to see The Seed of the Sacred Fig, but just based on what I did see, I know what I would vote for just based on principle. But like, what would you vote for? Like,
it. Based on because I looked them up after the list came out. I'll just say Amelia Perez, I think, is what they're going to give it to. Obviously, the one that's up for Best Picture is the one that's going to win Best Internet. Like the other four aren't up for Best Picture.
yeah, they are.
Um,
Yeah, they are. I'm Still Here.
oh, that is?
Yeah,
Huh. I guess I need
like
to prioritize that.
that threw that threw a wrench too, because because I agree with you. Like night, like it's like when they nominate an animated movie for best picture, and they also nominate it for best like animated feature. And it's just like, gee, I wonder what's going to win.
Yeah.
But this time, it's like the first time. It's like there's a chance, and there's also a movie that's nominated for best animated feature and nominated for best international picture, and that's the one that I chose, Flow, mostly
Mm.
because like anyone can watch that movie. Just anyone can watch it. It doesn't matter if you don't speak the language or anything. It has no subtitles to it. The animation does all of the talking. The animals, the way they move, their personalities come out. It's just a great film, in my opinion, and was my third favorite of last year. It was such a great movie. Highly recommend. If you have an opportunity to see Flow, definitely check it out as well.
I think it's $5.99 to rent right now.
Mhm. Yeah,
I'm waiting for it to either
to
be
be
free or
zero.
drop a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, and I just suspended my Mubi subscription because it was about to charge me, and I was like, I don't know if I can cover it right now, so I suspended it. And that's like the day they added uh, the girl with the needle.
So yeah, I might have to wait for it to come out in March when it's released in theaters, or I think February or March. Whenever it's released in theaters, I'm definitely gonna go see that and maybe see if I can find the Sacred Fig, the Seed of the Sacred Fig. Best adapted screenplay.
Here we go.
We have A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing.
I've heard nothing but good things about Nickel Boys.
Nickel Boys was great. It
Yeah,
was
I
really
haven't seen it yet, unfortunately.
it's very unconventional in terms of its story. It's a conventional story told in an unconventional way, where it's mostly from the POV of the characters, not 100%, but like mostly from like their point of view. And it was definitely I was really happy I got a chance to see it in theaters when I did. It's very hard to find, or it was very hard to find. But
Yeah, I think based on what I know, I would give it to Nickel Boys.
that would be a really good one. I'd be really happy if Nickel Boys had won it, or will win it. A Complete Unknown, I'm kind of about. Uh, Sing Sing, I would be really happy if that won. Amelia Perez. So here's the thing: Amelia Perez is nominated, but when I looked up what it was adapted from, it was a opera libretto from the director that was never made into anything. So it's just like, why are you nominated for something when you're not even adapted from anything? It's dumb. It's so dumb that it's on here. But I guess this director is really good at being friendly to people, so I guess that's why it's on there. And then there was my choice, which is Conclave, because I really liked uh, the script for that one, and it got me interested in the book. And then I started reading the book, and the book was really well written. There's something, and the things that they changed from the book to the movie made me appreciate the film a whole lot
Hmm.
more. So I thought that that was my favorite adapted screenplay. But now we got to go to original screenplay, and
I
we
can
have
already tell you, mine is The Substance. I think that should win.
yeah. Yep, Honora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5th, and The Substance, which I would be very happy if The Substance won. That would be really, really great if The Substance won. Uh, Brutalist, I'd be like all of these ones. I think all of these ones I'd be okay with winning. Like this is like one of the very few categories where it's just like if this one won, I'd be happy. If this one won, I'd be happy. If this one won, I'd be happy. I guess the one that I'm kind of more hesitant on is September 5th because that was a real event. So how is that not adapted? I feel like Amelia Perez and September 5th should switch and be in
Yeah.
the opposite category. But I went with Honora because it was like my favorite one out of all of those. And it would be really great for Sean Baker to get an award, especially after all of the amazing films he has made. And because it was a really great film from the Cannes Film Festival. Although The Substance won at the Cannes Film Festival, I don't think they're going to go down that route with with the Oscars. It would be really great if they did, though. I'd be happy if The Substance won Best Screenplay.
My number one from last year was The Substance. Number two was Dune, and number three was Honora.
Hmm.
So I'd be happy with Honora or The Substance.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
The reason I want to blow up on here is not like to get monetized or anything. It's to get screeners because my theater doesn't get anything. So I want to get big enough on here to where people are like, "Hey, will you watch this movie that your theater will never get?"
I That's what I'm trying to do as well. Elise was actually trying to teach me how to sign up for screeners. Like if like she's also on here. I would definitely ask her. She's in that group that I just added you to. Like Elise, she's really good with that. She gets screeners all the time for like Netflix movies and like
Oh,
Warner
cool.
Brothers and stuff like that. But it's a good starting point. Best Supporting Actress. We have Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. Now, this is just me, but I'm not entirely too thrilled with these choices. I like some of these movies, but there's other people that I feel like should have been nominated that weren't for sure, and I'll definitely get into that more. Monica Barbaro, I completely forgot about her character in that movie. But then I remember, oh, yeah, she's a famous musician, wasn't she? And then Ariana Grande was fine, but nothing really like amazing. Felicity Jones, I think, is the one that I went with, but because that was like the best one out of all these options. Isabella Rossellini doesn't really do anything significant in the film, or at least not enough to justify supporting actress. And then Zoe Saldana, I think, is going to get it for Amelia Perez, but man, that's just a terrible character. Like the way they, and it's not her fault. I think she did fine. I think she was all right. I
Yeah.
think like the acting overall, Amelia Perez was great, but the material was just horrible. But I don't know. What did you think was the should win out of those options?
Out of those options, I'm gonna go with The Brutalist just based on what I know of what I haven't seen because everything I have seen I don't agree with.
Mhm. Yeah, right on. That's also what I did, which I know I said, but still.
I do agree Zoe Saldana is going to win it though. Like,
Oh, yeah. They're promoting that movie. The whisper campaigning for that film is ridiculous, and it's annoying.
oh,
Best supporting actor.
oh, sorry, I was gonna say of who wasn't nominated, I would give it to Rebecca Ferguson. She was phenomenal in Dune Part Two.
Yeah, That's a good one. I have other thoughts, which we'll definitely get into to another thing I have on here, a special thing on here. Best Supporting Actor: Yora Borisov for Honora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. So Yora Borisov, I don't know why he's nominated. He didn't really do a whole lot. Like he wasn't terrible, I suppose, but he didn't really. He was barely on screen.
So I'm ignorant. Is he the guy that she marries, or is he the guy that
Bald
she?
headed guy that like she is with
Okay,
at the very end.
I liked him a lot actually.
Mm. And then Edward Norton, I'm kind of like sure, why not? Like he was good in A Complete Unknown. I almost would say that he would be like a top contender if it wasn't for The Brutalist with Guy Pearce, who was great, and I really liked in The Brutalist. He was exactly what I thought he was going to be in The Brutalist. To be fair, but I still thought that like he was really great. Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice, definitely the best part of that movie was Jeremy Strong in that movie. He was really good. Uh, but yeah, what would you pick for best supporting actor?
So I'm gonna do with this one what the Academy does all the time. I'm gonna give it to Guy Pearce for his previous body of work. He can have it for this one.
And that actually might be what happens. Uh, but I'm giving it to Kieran Culkin because I love Guy Pearce, and I think he also has a good chance of winning it because he also won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor, and
Hmm.
rightfully so. It's a great role, and it's not the typical like funny role. It's like a deep emotional role that he does very well with
I
in that
loved
film.
Kieran Culkin in or Real Pain, and then I saw him in interviews, and I was like, "Oh, you just weren't acting. That's just you."
This is very real. Uh, Best actress. We have Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mickey Madison for Honora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernando Torres for I'm Still Here. Now, this one's really difficult for me because all of them were like even Carla Sofia Gascon. You know how I feel about Amelia Perez. Even like that film, she was definitely the best part of that movie in my opinion.
For
And I'm
sure.
not upset that she's nominated. I know some people are like, she's trans, blah 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 blah. But it was like, but she is a woman, and she did, I think, a really great job with what she had to do in that film. Uh, I think my least favorite nominee is Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. Not because she herself is terrible in that movie, but it's just like the performance was fine. It's not like groundbreaking though, like most of the other ones were in their movies. Uh, who would you think would be your choice for best actress?
Demi Moore for sure. I thought she had the best performance. She had the most physicality to it, and you can also go with the legacy for all of her previous work. She's never won for anything until that Golden Globe.
I agree that, and it is and I'd be really happy if it went to Demi Moore. She was really great in that film, and her performance, it was like Natalie Portman from Black Swan. Like that's what one of the things it reminded me of. And seeing like
Yeah.
her career, like from like movies like Nothing But Trouble or The Scarlet Letter from like way back in the day, and then seeing her here, it's like such a growth. It would be such a great um, uh, it would be such a great comeback to get the award for best actress. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Fernanda Torres for "I'm Still Here." It was really difficult for me to decide because I liked these performances. It was
Mhm.
so close, but I, especially after watching "I'm Still Here," man, what a there was such a huge range of emotions in that film,
Is that
and I think
streaming
it's.
anywhere yet?
I'm sorry.
Is that streaming anywhere yet, or
I
did you
think
catch
it's
it in
just still in
theaters?
select theaters. I think it's like the Brutalist, where like it's like in very limited release, and like you have to seek it out. I'm not sure if you're near any big cities or if there's any big cities near you.
The closest city that has a worthwhile theater is about 4.5 hours away.
So then maybe they might have it playing, but but we'll see. Best actress or best actor, we have Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. What do you think?
I would, I would love if they gave it to Sebastian Stan just for playing Donald Trump. You know,
It's funny
just
because that one's my least favorite of the nominees. Not that he was bad in the film; he definitely had the look and
yeah.
mannerisms down. But
But I think I
like
would
out
give
of
it,
all
even
the
though I haven't
nominees
seen
here,
it, Fines.
I'm sorry.
Even though I haven't seen it, Fines for Conclave. I feel like he. I've seen clips. I just haven't sat down and watched the movie. Um, everything I see, he's mind-blowingly good.
Oh yeah,
It's
I like
maybe the clips I've seen are just nitpicked, but
yeah. A lot of that performance uh is just that, a performance. So I have mixed feelings about it, but I really did like him in Conclave. Coleman Domingo, I would be really happy if he won. Timothy Chalamet, he was fine, I guess. Like I also am familiar with "I'm Not Here," which was the other biopic about Bob Dylan that was made years ago, where there were multiple actors playing Bob Dylan throughout various parts of his life. It was more like an experimental biopic. I thought that one movie was actually better than A Complete Unknown. But my pick for best actor will have to go to Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Like if I was voting, I would vote for Adrian Brody for The Brutalist.
I think he's gonna win it. I just can't vote for him because he works with Roman Polanski so much, you know.
I mean, yeah, that's fair to stick with your principles for that one for sure. I just thought that like you can. I just kept looking past all of that because it's been a while since he has, or really anyone has ever worked with Roman Polanski. So I feel like I think he can separate himself enough. There are other things that you can also point out about Adrian Brody as a person that are kind of scummy, but
Yeah.
um, but I just thought that he was very transformed in The Brutalist. All right, best director. We have Sean Baker for Honora, Bradley Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audenard for Amelia Perez, and Collier Farge for The Substance.
For sure, Coralie Farge for The Substance. I love everything she did with that movie. The zoom cuts on the eating, the batshit crazy ending, like the this references to old shots in movies, like the Shining Hallway, etc. Like just everything about it from start to finish, and she made it so tight. It's like 2.5 hours long, and it feels like an hour. Like
I completely agree. That was also my pick for best director as well. Um, I think the Amelia Perez one is my least favorite. And James Mangold, I don't think there was really anything mind blowing about his directing. I don't know why he's here nominated. Like Nickel Boys should have been nominated for best directing because that was like really great on a technical level. And I'm Still Here should have been nominated for best directing because that was really great on technical levels as well. I don't understand why A Complete Unknown was nominated for best directing, besides for the fact that James Mangold is has friends in Hollywood, I
Yeah.
suppose. But if all the other ones won, like if Sean Baker won, that'd be amazing. If That'd be amazing. If Bradley Corbett won, that'd be really great. It might go to him,
I'm
but
thinking.
but uh, but Corley Farge would be my vote if I was to vote for them. And then Best Picture, we have Nora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked.
I would vote for The Substance. Overall, just the best movie. Yeah, Frenchie down there. The Substance.
Yeah, The Substance would be really. I would be very, very happy if The Substance had won or won. I think, however, I'm going to give it to my favorite of the live action movies that were nominated there and give it to Anora if I was to vote for my for Best Picture myself. I just thought that was just like a moving story, and not to say that fairy tales are bullshit is a thing we have never seen before because it's not. We've seen it before many times,
Yeah.
but I feel like the impact that you get in this movie is just lasting, and I could see myself watching this movie years down the road, and I could see most of these get that as well. Like I can see myself watching most of these movies down the road, but I think Anora just hit me the most emotionally. And then I also have another category: worst nominee. Worst nominee. Which what do you think is the any category, any movie? What do you think is the biggest uh, or the worst nominee in this in the Oscars?
That is a tough one. I mean, I have to go off what you said and Amelia Perez for adapted because he like adapted it from his own idea that wasn't even put to paper.
Right.
That'd be
Yeah,
like he wrote a treatment in his head and then they gave it adapted. Like,
I agree. That is a really good one. Just anything from Amelia Perez, really, for me. I went with Best Picture for Amelia Perez. Was the worst nominee in my opinion. There were so many things to choose from. Just like it nominated for sound uh, and just the songs I was not a huge fan of. But now we're going really quickly. I'm going to do the complete opposite. And what about the biggest snub? A movie that probably should have been nominated but wasn't. I know many people have thoughts about this, such as like uh, the such as uh, what was it? Challengers, completely
mm,
snubbed by the Academy. Uh, just and like Daniel Craig for Best Actor for Queer, he was really great in that film. Uh, Ingenue Ellis from Nickel Boys, fantastic role. Where's Terrifier 3 for makeup? That's a good one, Frenchie. I like that one. But what about you? What do you think is the biggest snub? Uh,
I'm gonna have to go with what I said earlier, the substance for score.
yeah, that's a
That
good one.
score is so fucking good. Like they're using it for everything now. Like
Exactly.
it's
Mhm.
become the new like Duel of the Fates or whatever, where everything is Oh, Hugh Grant for Heretic is a
Hugh
good one.
Grant for Heretic, yes. I agree. Hugh Grant was really great. He should have been nominated. He should have been nominated for Heretic for sure,
Yeah,
for sure, for sure. Uh, so I went with a movie that's a movie in a category that people did not think about, but I thought was a great movie, criminally underrated. I went with the movie Dee Dee and the for best supporting actress Joan Chen because
that's a good
she
one.
was phenomenal in the film. I thought that she was very pivotal to the story and the themes of the movie about this boy growing up and he's just being a teenage boy and like treating his mom like crap, but she is just so amazing and like you learn more about like her as a character through subtlety. It was great. I also think Ingenue Ellis, I think that's her name, from Nickel Boys was so great. Uh, no nominations for
Actually,
Deadpool Wolverine.
I was actually going to say, I think Hugh Jackman would have been a fine Best Supporting Actor nomination
Yeah,
for
like
Wolverine.
comic book movies tends to not really be appreciated on an artistic merit because they're like popcorn films.
Yeah, they'll get the technical awards, but
But
what is
yeah,
Angela Bassett got nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Wakanda Forever,
yeah,
and
Angela Bassett. Yeah,
obviously the two Jokers that won. But
yeah.
that's about it for big. Black Panther had a Best Picture nomination, the
That's not to
first
say.
one.
I'm not saying that they never get nominated. I'm just saying that they rarely get nominated because of the artistic merits. But
Yeah,
you will get some exceptions to that rule for sure. Definitely.
but that's like five that I can name out of
Hmm.
over 50 movies that have come out.
There's been a little bit more than 50, but yeah, for sure. Tony Collette for Hereditary. Yeah, that year definitely Tony Collette should have been nominated for Hereditary, but
And
wasn't.
Mia Goth for Pearl.
Yeah, Mia Goth should have been nominated for Pearl, and yeah, she was really good in that film. Uh, but yeah, overall, those are my. I didn't go over the shorts or the
Yeah.
documentaries because I haven't really seen that many. But overall, I'm interested to see like where it goes from here. I'm probably going to do another stream for the Oscars when it comes out, and just watch and see it. I'm not sure if we're gonna do it on here or if we're gonna have to move it to Instagram. Not sure like what the future holds for TikTok. We'll see what happens. But but yeah, but it's great that you had taken some time to come visit me and come to my live. And I got a new friend for sure. I will be doing a live stream for Oscars as well. We could co-host if you're interested, Frenchie. If you're interested in co-hosting, so we can watch it together, or we could do our own thing, or what? Why not? But yeah, well, we'll keep in touch. I'll follow you back and so let me. Yeah, I'll do that. Follow back. And we'll definitely keep in touch with that. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Real Dumb. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. This was fun.
Yeah, this was fun. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna sign off and take care of my dog before she, goes crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take care of my kid before she goes crazy.
You understand? Peace.
Later.